Today I'm testing the Toyo Proxes Sport AS XL. The car I bought on Autobidmaster.com, the Audi S6 V10, is back finally. It's all legal to be on the road now. We had to do some repairs, but it passed all the inspection. But now it's time to change the tires. At first look, the tires were on this car, looks in pretty good shape. Those are Michelin Pilot Sport. The tread looks good, but after a closer inspection, we noticed these tires are all cracked on 4 corners. And that can happen on cars who stayed for a long time on the lot, especially auction cars and all that. When you're using high performance tires, compound, like these ones, when they stay for a long time on the lot, not moving for a while. So these are really dangerous. If you follow any ones like Jay Leno and all that, they change their tires, even if they look like brand new, even if there's a lot of treads left on the tires. If they're cracked, they're really dangerous. And if you can remember the fatal crash of Paul Walker, that was one of the main reasons why the Carrefour GT crashed. The tires were pretty old. Obviously, he was speeding, but one of the main reasons why Paul Walker died and crashed, that was mainly because the tires were cracked. So I changed my tires. I went with another type of tires. These are Toyo Proxes Sports AS. So these tires have more all-weather approach. The Michelin were more summertime tires. I think these tires are well suited for the Audi S6. Especially here in Canada during spring and fall, it can get really cold. So sometimes a summer tire with a softer compound can be dangerous during those kind of like cold weather. So that's why I went with this compound, with this pattern. If we look closely to this tread, we can easily see there's plenty of space to evacuate the water. So it's better also if you want to travel, do road trips and all that. So I'm going to go on the road to see if these Toyo tires are going to improve the ride, the handling, the acceleration, and the overall comfort of this Audi. You can also find your next car or project just like this Audi S6 V10. It's pretty rare. You can go on Autobidmaster.com. This is where I found this pretty rare V10 sedan. Just use the code JUL50 to get 50% off on the advanced and premium membership. Link in the description. So today I'm going to evaluate these Toyo tires versus pretty much the old tires that were on this S6. They were Michelin Pilot Sport. The Pilot Sports got more summer compound. This one have a harder compound. Obviously, you know, when you're driving something like a Porsche, a Corvette, a CTSV, something like that with a lot of power, rear-wheel drive, it's really important to have like a summer compound. Now, inside of this Audi S6, yes, you know, it's a kind of like a sporty sedan, but it's still a big sedan. We've got the Quattro all-wheel drive system. It's a heavy car. This is why these Toyo are XL. So before choosing a set of tires, you have to ask yourself, how are you going to use these tires? Are you going to use them at the track, drag strip, daily driving, a lot of highway driving? Do you want them to last longer? you want more grip for off-road aspect, you have to ask yourself all these questions. And this is why I choose these Proxes all-weather condition instead of like maybe the next step, the summer compound, because this car is going to be used mostly as a daily driver. I'm not planning to do any drag strip or track time. This car is way too heavy, way too big. I don't see the point of doing some track time with it. So that's why I go with a harder compound, not the softest compound. I'm going to do some tests of handling on dry pavement. Now I've got my curve in front of me. Pretty sticky. You know, it's an heavy car. The tires are doing the right job. You know, tons of grip. You know, obviously a softer compound will give me a little bit more grip. I think with this type of car, you don't really need to push it more than I'm doing right now. We're gonna do some braking tests right now, see how it grips. Ooh, tons of grip. Yeah, pretty strong, pretty strong. Obviously, this Audi S6, it's not brand new. We are restoring this Audi S6 right now. Obviously, brakes are good, but you know, the tires are so important. This is really what's touching the ground is gonna give you the safety, the grip, and also the braking power. Even if you have big, strong brake like this S6 does, the tires are really important. All right, now we're gonna test the acceleration, see if we've got some nice traction out of these tires. All right. There you go. Really strong off the line. That's one point. This is pretty much why I didn't choose the softer compound. This car is so heavy with the Quattro and all that, it's not struggling to get some traction. So even if you don't have the best, the softest compound, you've got plenty of grip, and those Toyos are doing the job. So for the overall dry handling test, you know, handling wise, grip wise, braking wise, I give a 9 out of 10 for this test. So next, we're gonna test the wet handling. Earlier this week, I had the chance to drive this car in some wet condition. Because these tires are all-weather tread, we've got plenty of tread to evacuate the water of the tire. So overall, for the wet handling, I give a 9 out of 10. It's pretty good, a little bit better than the summer tires, but obviously because we're not a full-on, you know, normal daily driver, we still have this angle of sportiness in those tires. This is why this tire doesn't get the 10 out of 10 for the wet handling. Now let's test how quiet these tires are. They're pretty quiet on the road. They don't make a lot of noise. Obviously, once again, a little bit less noisier than the softer compound. Pretty good. And this car is older, but still it's a luxury ride. You want to be quiet inside of the cabin. Even if it's the big V10 and all that, it's a pretty quiet car. So overall, I give a 9 out of 10. Again, how quiet it is. On the ride comfort side, especially if I compare these tires to the Michelin Pilot Sport, we've got B4, they're more comfortable, the ride is good, it's strong also. You know, when you feel it in the steering wheel, you still have some performance tires, you know, under you. Obviously this car is almost 15 years old, so tire wise pretty comfortable. So I'm gonna give on the ride comfort 8 out of 10. Obviously we can get more comfortable tires, but you have to do a sacrifice on the performance and handling. On the tread life aspect side of these tires, obviously it's pretty hard, you know, to see in the future, but I could say, you know, buy the compound, buy the tread and all that, they're gonna last longer obviously than a Pilot Sport or a Pirelli or something who's gonna be full-on summer tire with a soft compound. So I give it a 7 out of 10 for the tread life. So if you want to, you know, get get a little bit more out of your tires, obviously you should definitely choose the all-weather instead of the summer compound. On the all-weather aspect of these tires, nice tread to these tires. You know, I think if you live, you know, maybe not in winter condition, I wouldn't use these tires in full-on snow. And here in Quebec, it's not legal. You know, from the 1st of December, we have to put some real winter tires. But if you live up north in the US or in a more, you know, easier climate in Canada, it's a great tires to have all around without sacrificing on the performance. Not the safest, I could say, probably in full-on, I say, ice and snow. Obviously, it's all-weather tires. But on this side, I give it a 6 out of 10. On the fuel efficiency side, I need to do more tests. Same thing for the tread life, because these tires have a harder compound than the one they were on this car before. Obviously, this is gonna affect a little bit the fuel efficiency. Harder your tires are, better fuel efficiency you're gonna get, less restriction with the road, with the air and all that. So on this side, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 because these tires are more for the performance than the fuel efficiency and the tread life. You know, it's right in the middle, but it won't give you the best result for your fuel economy. Finally, the value, I think it's well all-around tires for everyday driving. It really fits well this car because it's got that, you know, sporty V10, you know, sporty kind of like handling and all that, but you don't need the full-on hardcore summer tires. Those Michelin Sport or even the Pirelli or something like that, they won't last. The tread life is not there. Again, those tires are going to be way much more expensive. Also, not maybe the most practical. Like I said, if you're in colder weathers, you know, in spring and fall here, and when it's really cold, these tires, especially the Pilot Sport, you know, every time I've got those tires on a sport car, it gets really dangerous quickly. They're safer than a softer compound. The price, I think, is just right there with the competition. And I check other tires, even like the Michelin, the Pirellis, and some of those summer tires made for this Audi S6 are almost the double of the price of these Toyo tires. So the value, it's right there. I think value-wise for this application, I give it a 9 out of 10. So overall, pretty good result. I'm pretty satisfied with these tires. Obviously, I choose the OEM side with the right pressure and everything, especially on Audis with Quattros. You're not really able to mess around with the size and the, you know, the sidewall and the width of your tires. But I'm really satisfied with the result and also the safety aspect. You know, when I saw these Michelin were cracked on this Audi, I knew I made the right choice for this application. And overall, I think it's one of the best, you know, value overall application. And for what I do also, and where I'm driving, you know, where I live here, it's close to a ski resort. There's a tons of roads, they're still in gravels and all that. So sometimes when you're using high performance tires or maybe with less tread, it's not the best. So overall, pretty satisfied with these Toyos. So I'm gonna put some links in the description if you wanna check out Toyo Tires Canada. And also don't forget to check out Autobidmaster.com if you wanna find your rare car to have your next project, just like I'm doing right now with this Audi S6. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and we're gonna see each other on our next review.